Notes for my September 2024 reading of The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm filming this Thursday, 19 September 2024. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I'm going to go through my book and reading notes for my September 2024 reading of The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So the story was initially published back in 1925, so it's 99 years old, this story. And this is the April 2018 Scribner edition paperback. I'll put the ISBN in the video description. I started the book on Tuesday, 17 September 2024, and finished the book today on Thursday, 19 September 2024. It's the story by the man is 180 pages, and it took me 3 days. This is a public library copy. It was on the shelves, but in the library that I go to, that's like 0.6 miles that way, they had 2 copies, and the one in the adult fiction section, was on the shelves. So I was like, oh, if it's there, I'll pick it up. And it was there, so I picked it up. I have read this book before. I read this book about 6 years ago. So I would have been, what, approximately 26 years old when I read it initially. Yeah. This is my second time reading this book. So there we go. And oh, why did I read it? I read it because I watched the movie, the 2013 movie, the film adaptation of this book. And I was like, wait, the book was published in 1925? I should read it before it turns 100 years old, like in year number 99. And I was reading it, and in here, the month in which Gatsby dies is September. So it's like, this is like, if we go by month in the book and then like it's 99 years later, it's like the 99th anniversary of Gatsby dying. As I was reading it, I was like, I chose the couldn't have timed that perfectly, more flawlessly. Anyway, I was like, it'd be cool, since I read it like 6 years ago, to have it on like the 99th year before it turns 100, you know, and everybody goes, oh, I gotta read it again since it's 100, you know. It's like, I'll get in my 2 readings before it turns 100, thank you. And I did. So, okay. Book notes. It's a different design than the copy I bought. The copy I bought had the movie artwork from the 2013 film adaptation. I guess 2013. This is, I think, supposed to be like like an advertisement that's got forgotten about in a certain part of town in New York City. It says a little bit about the story, The Great Gatsby, and a little bit about the author, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Pages are full text pages. It's got the author name, the name of the book, and the page numbers at the top with a bar. I sometimes like that, actually. It's kind of like, so I've published a few peer-reviewed journals, and I've published a bunch of like lab reports. And one thing whether or not I did on my lab reports, you know, like especially if I was doing like in LaTeX or LaTeX, it's like, I like the bar at the top. You know, it differentiates the like heading stuff and like publication information or assignment information from the text. So personally, I do like that. I did like it, so it's smaller font, concise spacing, and full text pages. But it was still a speedy read. For me, anyway. I averaged 60 pages a day, but I read, what did I read? I read 80 pages the first day, so back on Tuesday. I read 80 pages yesterday, and then I read 20 pages today. So the average was 60, however, I went 80, 80, 20. Yeah, so I didn't hit the average number once. Reading notes. It's just a story set in the 1920s about a man and his soulmate, and the soulmate ends up not choosing him, and so he would have died by a broken heart but was killed instead, kind of thing. But he turns out to be a very wealthy man, and kind of like turns out at the time of approaching the woman, because she likes a lot of money, so he's trying to kind of appeal to his soulmate. The main character at the end says he's approximately, Mr. Caraway is approximately 30 years of age. So not far off from me. I'm approximately 32 years of age. I'm like, oh, the characters in this book are my age. But I think a lot of people really want to be like the female lead. Was it Daisy? I am not a Daisy type. Yeah. Perhaps the biggest obvious distinguisher there is what she was a teenager or in her early 20s, and she had like a summer where she met Gatsby, and she had sex with a bunch of guys, and she got very flustered and was like, I want a solution now. And it was like during World War I or something like that. I think it was during World War I, and Gatsby was a soldier, and so he couldn't, he had to fight in the war, but she really wanted an answer on love like right away. And so and she had sex with a number of different guys, and she was just, I just want my answer now, kind of thing. And so the next guy that came along, Mr. Tom Buchanan, was her solution. She was like, I'm just gonna go with that guy. And that actually, that's in here. I was like, nope, I can't. I have none of those check marks. Sleeping around, turning somebody down because they're a soldier, and then choosing the first man who shows up after being like, I just want an answer now. And I don't do the I just want to answer nothing after having sex with anybody, but I guess they're like, so that whole progression, like I don't have the first thing, so I don't have any of the things after that. This is a pretty big distinguisher, if I'm allowed to say so myself, because if she had been more of my type, which is I am capable of waiting for better or for worse, right? Because I am approximately their age and I'm older and living with my parents. She had married and she had a daughter, and one child, one daughter with Tom Buchanan. And so, yeah. And I have squirrels for pets instead of one female daughter. That'd be a Daisy type also requires at least one daughter. How about, I got it. Only daughters. If you're a Daisy type, if you only have female children. There we go. So there we go. Yeah. So a little bit different. Yes. I'm right, because I imagine this is covered a fair amount. So how do I make it distinguishing? I'm going to distinguish myself from the female lead. I'm not like the second female lead was Jordan Baker, who was a golfer. I don't even think I've played actual golf at any point in my life. I sucked at mini golf, and I've played that like once or twice. But I'd like an actual golf club. So I fail on multiple accounts on being like the female characters in this book. And I'm not a Myrtle, and that's about as far as I'm gonna go on that topic. So like in terms of profession, I am not a Myrtle. Okay. As how to phrase it. Okay. Even if my soulmates, I am their pleasure wife. I'm not a Myrtle type. Okay. For a profession, right? And making money. Stuff on the side. My soulmates, if they want me for pleasure, they gotta marry me, or they gotta commit to me for life, and through death and after death. I'm like I'm a commitment lady. Okay, so there we go. This is my reading notes. I feel like, but I want more. It's a pretty short read, and there's a not too distant in the past movie as well. So there we go. In conclusion, this marked full book number 42 for me for the 2024 year. It's a good one. I'll give it 5 out of 5 stars. Quick read. It has a really good pace to it. Covers a lot of ground, and it's 180 pages. So there we go. And I got it done before the 100 year, before 1925, and I'm filming this September 2024 for my September 2024 reading. So I made it barely, but I made it.